Shalom, shalom. I want to give all the praise, all the glory, all the honor unto Yahawah, Ba'ashem, Yahawahshi, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors goes out to the elder apostles of Great Millstone for teaching me the truth. Also want to acknowledge Allah Akyam, who are pushing this truth with sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth. All right. This is Shabai from the GMS Denver camp. And today I'm going to go in. Let me see. Let's go to Matthew. And let's see. I'll start at. We're just going to go on Matthew 14. Or no, let's see. Matthew 13. And we'll start around verse. Let me see. I'll start at 24. Just go with the Spirit. And let's see. It says here, and this goes into the kingdom and also goes in on the tares. All right. So let's go ahead and read verse 24. It says, "Another parable put he forth unto them, saying," let me turn this down, this background music. All right, Slakia. Oh shit, that's the wrong. Okay. I had to get that turned down a little bit. Alright, so it says, "The kingdom of heaven is likened unto a man which sowed good seed in his field." Alright, and to sow, it means you're scattering seeds, meaning you're planting seeds, basically. Verse 25. "But while men slept, his enemy came and sowed tares among the wheat and went his way." And when you go into images you can go to Google and you can pull up images of tares, Tares, right here. And also wheat, images of wheat. And the tares and the wheat, they look exactly alike. Okay? But the thing is the wheat and the tares, the wheat is useful. It has value to it. The tares are basically just shrubs, just weeds. All right? But they look alike. Let me see. Yeah, so you look at it, if you pull up on your computer, and I can't do it here because Google doesn't let me do it without muting me. So yeah, they look super similar, right? But obviously wheat you can make it's useful, But a tare, it's just a weed. You can't make anything out of it. So I'll break down the parable and what it means, but let's keep reading. It says in verse 26, "But when the blade was sprung up and brought forth fruit, then appeared the tares also." All right, so the man in the parable, he's and this is Yahawahshi explaining this parable. All right, and he's saying basically, the man who would be Yahawah B'Shem Yahawahshi, who sows good seed, right, in his field, which the good seed are the wheat, because they have value to them. That there's value with wheat. You can make bread, you can make cereal, you can make grain, right, out of the wheat. But the tares are weeds. And we're going to keep reading this. The weeds, you can't make anything out of. You just got to throw those things away. And it says here in verse 26, but when the blade was sprung up and brought forth fruit, then appeared the tares also. Remember, they look exactly alike. Verse 27, so the servants of the householder, came and said to him, Sir, didst not thou sow good seed in thy field? From whence then hath it tares? They're questioning like, there's some tares in the middle of this thing. It's not just wheat, it's tares also. All right, and we're going to explain what the tares in the wheat is. But let's keep reading. He said unto them, an enemy hath done this. The servants said, Go unto him. Wilt thou then that we go and gather them up? But he said, Nay, lest while ye gather up the tares, ye root up also the wheat with them. Let both grow together until the harvest. And in the times of the harvest, I will say to the reapers, Gather ye together first the tares and bind them in bundles to burn them, but gather the wheat into my barn. All right, and so the barn is a metaphor for the kingdom, and the tares being gathered in bundles is a metaphor for the wicked and the heathen, and really the tares, which, like I said, I'm going to explain to what the tares are, but I want to go into this word reaper here. All right, so when you look into that word reaper, let me go back to it. This is how you say it in Greek.
Strong's G 2327. Therestes.
Therestes. That's how you say reaper in Greek. Okay, and what it is, it's basically a harvester, someone who let me see, a person who harvests crops, right? So when the harvest is ready, then the reaper comes in, right? And that's that I was going into this because it made me think of the Grim Reapers. So I did a Google search, and I asked Google. I said, "What is the Grim Reaper?" Right? And this is what it says. It says, "The Grim Reaper is a blend of various medieval or older European personifications of death." Okay, and then if you go to this AI overview on Google, this is what it says. It says, the Grim Reaper and the Angel of Death are often associated with death, but they are usually considered distinct figures. All right, but because while I was reading this, I was kind of thinking that the way my mind was thinking when what the thought that crossed my mind was Yahawahshi is the Grim Reaper, right? And it's like I said, it was basically it says it originated here in medieval times. But what it is they know about they knew about the judgment that would come, and that Yahawahshi was going to come back to the earth and wage war on the heathen. So when you look into it, it's saying here that the Grim Reaper is associated with the Angel of Death in history, or in folklore. But in reality, when you think about it, the Grim Reaper is basically Yahawahshi. He's going to be that Grim Reaper to the wicked. All right, and you're going to have wicked of our people, and you're going to have wicked of the heathen, all the heathen, right? Especially of Esau, Edom, right? But it's also associated with the Angel of Death. So That's what it is, you know. But like I say, that thought crossed my mind when I was reading this. I was like, yo, Yahawahshi is the Grim Reaper. He's going to be the Grim Reaper to, to these people who are not of the elect. Let me read this here, because it says, the angel of death, a figure in many religions, including Judaism, Islam, and Hinduism. In let's see. Well, I'm not going to keep reading that because that's not really the point. And so they have their own idea of the Grim Reaper. You know, it says here including a cloaked skeleton, a beautiful woman, or a small child, depicts the angel of death. But really, in reality, Yahawahshi is going to be that Grim Reaper to the the people that are in the inhabitants of the earth that are not of the elect. And let's grab this real quick. Matthew 10 and 34. And again, I'm still going to teach about the tares, because I know that there may be a new person watching the video, and a lot of times we go back to the basics. If you've been in this truth and this knowledge, for a little while, you already know what the tares represent. But right now we're on the subject of Yahawahshi and him being that he's going to be like the Grim Reaper when he comes back. In Matthew 10 and 34, it says, "Think not that I am come to send peace on earth. I came not to send peace, but a sword." All right, so now we're going to go to Isaiah 47 and 3. It says, "The nakedness, or thy nakedness shall be uncovered. Yeah, thy shame shall be seen. I will take vengeance, and I will not meet thee as a man." All right, and that's because our Lord Yahawahshi, when he comes back, he's not going to be coming back as the gentle lamb that he was when he came the first time around. He's going to come back with vengeance, like a lion, the Lion of Judah, but in that celestial body. And the lion just represents his vengeance and his ferociousness and his courage, right? Because he's going to come and like I said, wage war on the heathen nations and their militaries. So it says, "I will not meet thee as a man," right? Because he's coming back in that angelic, celestial, heavenly body. Hence, that angel of death. You can say that. Because Yahweh B'Shem Yoshai, when they visit the earth, they're going to, well, let's get it in Ezekiel 9. Explains what's going to happen. Ezekiel 9 and 4. Because this is a death angel speaking of in Ezekiel 9. It says, "And Yahweh said unto him, Go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem." And Jerusalem is a people before it's a place. So he's going to visit the Israelites. And of course he's going to visit the heathen and the wicked, right? The heathen nations. And it says, "Go through the midst of Jerusalem and set a mark upon the foreheads of the men that sigh and that cry for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof." So this death angel is commanded from Yahweh to go through Jerusalem, meaning go through the people, go through Israel, the Israelites. It's talking about a people before a place. And he says, what does he tell him? Verse 5. And but first off, he says, go through the midst of Israel, Jerusalem. But he says, set a mark. And the mark is a mark of exemption. An exemption from what? An exemption from judgment. Because the men who are doing the work, that are sighing and crying daily, and also, at the camps, we're gonna, Lord willing, I'm in that number, receive a mark of exemption from judgment. When you go to that word mark, it's a tawa. All right, let me go to that real quick. Let's see. But let's see, Ezekiel 9. Go to that word mark, and I'm going to play it for you.
Strong's H8420. Tav.
Okay, so that's the Yiddish, but in the Paleo, it's the Wa. All right, but if you go into the blue letter, it says it's a mark, a sign of exemption from judgment. Right, so that's what the men who are sighing and crying, meaning the ones who are, we're here sighing and crying, literally. And then we're in the midst of all these abominations, right? Here in Babylon. So, let's keep reading this. And to the others, he said in mine hearing, go ye after him through the city and smite. And the word smite means kill. It's a death angel, remember. Grim Reaper style. Let not your eyes spare, neither have ye pity. Slay utterly old and young, both maids and little children and women, but come not near any man upon whom is the mark, and begin at my sanctuary. Then they began at the ancient men which were before the house. So the judgment, it tells you in, I think it's 1 Peter 4:17, it tells you that the judgment of Yahweh begins in the house of Israel, in the Lord's tabernacle. So the judgment begins with the Israelites, right? Begins with the house of Israel. That's why Jacob's trouble is happening. That's why you're getting, mass deportations. They're coming on. Esau is coming on hot pursuit of the so-called Mexicans, which those are the tribe of Issachar in the Bible, and this is part of the curses. Issachar's under the curses, just like Judah, just like Benjamin, Levi. Just like Gad. All the tribes, all the 12 tribes, were all under the curses still. So that's why, that's why there's mass deportations. That's why in this new office of Donald Trump, what's he doing? He's coming after you Israelites. And they've taken guys from Haiti, which those are the Levites. So they're really coming after the tribes. They're not going after the immigrants or the migrants, like they call them, illegal aliens, like they call them. They're not going after the illegals who are of European descent, who are so-called white people. No, it's only directed towards you Israelites, you so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. But it says right here, there's going to be that death angel. When the death angels come, and Yahawahshi is going to be, one of those men, one of those death angels, who's going to bring, like we read in Matthew 10:34, he's coming to make a war. He's not coming for peace. And also the angels, right? Starting out with Michael the archangel. He's going to be there too. But in Ezekiel 9, and I don't know if this is, if this is Michael the archangel that's spoken of in Ezekiel 9, but we know it's a death angel because Yahweh is commanding him to go through the middle of Jerusalem, which again is a people before it's a place, and go, and he said, set a mark of exemption on the men who sigh and cry, meaning the prophets, the teachers. We have that mark of exemption. So Yahweh has commanded his angels not to touch us, because we have that hedge, because we are in the right spirit. We're in the spirit of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahawahshi. But he says to the others, go ahead and kill them. And he says, doesn't matter if they're old, doesn't matter if they're young, doesn't matter if they're little children, doesn't matter if they're women. You see, we just read that. So let's go back to Matthew, and we're going to keep reading Matthew 13. Let's see, Matthew 13 and... Ah, shit, the phone just...